You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
It's time now for the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show. Now, here's Grouchy.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, this is normally when you would hear the dulcet tones of our very own, the conservative curmudgeon known as G. However, he's been out for a while, so we are trying to make sure he gets to keep all of his syndication points. He plans on being back next week, but I was afraid if we pushed it one more time, we might start losing some of his affiliate outlets. So, I'm filling in. And I feel like I've been cheating because I've barely done any radio for like the last 6 weeks other than the nighttime stuff. I'm trying to fix it. Just every time I think I have things under control, something else in my life changes, and here we are yet again. So anyway, kind of like what you guys do on a daily basis. If you thought, those of us doing this kind of stuff had things a little easier. Not really. Anyway, so we're here, we're live, and there's been plenty of stuff going on. So this actually hit my radar last night. Was going to talk about it this morning if I could have, not slept through my alarm. But this is kind of just, more proof that things aren't really going as well for, crazy Uncle Joe and the whole Bidenomics thing. So this is from our friends over at the Blaze Media. So a funny thing happened when Joe Biden's very own border czar, Kamala Harris, visited Texas, which I wasn't even aware that she was in Texas, but apparently it was sometime around December 6th. The vice president came to Houston last week to tout the Biden administration's record to Latinos. However, she said absolutely nothing about the border crisis or the economy, and voters noticed. Trumpeting the Biden administration's record to Latinos in Houston last week, Vice President Kamala Harris ignored the two biggest issues Hispanics and everyone else in the low-start state are facing today: wide open borders and the failure of quote-unquote Bidenomics. Texas Latinos, they weren't impressed. Kamala Harris coming to Houston while continuing to ignore the crisis at our southern border is a slap in the face to every Texan, every American, and every Hispanic American in this country, said former U.S. Rep. Mayra Flores. Turns out that Hispanic voters are not so interested in government handouts, Ivy League radicalism, or free abortions on demand, after all. Why did Harris, the administration's appointed and anointed border czar, come to Texas anyway? It's a sign that Democrats are rightly worried that the Latino portion of their traditional base is beginning to lose interest in what they have to offer. And they're right to be worried. Even the Washington Post acknowledged that Hispanic voters are drifting toward the GOP, citing not only President Donald Trump's showing with Hispanics in 2020, but also kitchen tables issues such as the economy and inflation. Polls consistently find that Hispanic voters prefer Republicans to Democrats on inflation and the handling of the economy. Democratic consultant Rui Teixeira wrote nearly all, 86% of Hispanics say economic conditions are only fair or poor, and about 3/4 say the same thing about their personal financial situation. By 2-1, they say President Biden's policies are hurting, not helping them and their families. Yet, the vice president's trip shows the Biden administration continues to fundamentally misunderstand the hard-working, tradition-minded Hispanic community. It turns out that they're not so interested in all the government handouts. They don't give a crap about Ivy League radicalism, or even free abortions on demand. They're a lot more focused on freedom and opportunity for their families. And the Biden administration's policies put those goals further and further out of reach. Let's start with the border. Citing a poll by Libre Institution, CBS News reported that 65% of 1,000 Latinos surveyed indicated that more needed to be done to control illegal immigration along the southern border. The Immigration Hub Commission poll also found that 63% of Latino voters supported increased border security. That's seen everywhere, including the so-called sanctuary cities such as Chicago, which are appealing to the Biden administration for bailouts as they deal with just a fraction of the illegal immigration issue that Texas has to face every single day. There has been a large-scale resistance not from the city's white hipsters, but instead from those in black and Latino neighborhoods, reported Kristen Tate from The Messenger. Hundreds of residents of Chicago's racially diverse Hyde Park neighborhood protested against a resettlement plan at a public meeting, and protesters marched in New York City with signs in English and Spanish calling the wave of migrants an invasion. Well, hey, they're starting to figure it out. What do you know? By the way, the Democrats' misunderstanding of these border issues extends to black voters, too. Nearly 3 times as many black Democrats describe illegal immigration as a threat to the country, and their white Democrat counterparts are more even than their white Democrat counterparts, Tate noted. The vice president also misread the room, indeed the nation, in landing in lauding the administration's transformative policies for the American people. Transformative indeed. The fact is, Americans are hurting, and that includes Hispanic Americans. Writing for Fox News Job Creators Network, CEO Alfredo Ortiz argued that Bidenomics is at the heart of why Hispanics are moving to the Republican Party, noting that the median national income declined sharply in 2022 due to inflation, Ortiz wrote. The pain of falling living standards is especially acute for Hispanics, who earn far less than average Americans. What a contrast to from 2017 to 2019, when Hispanics' real median household incomes rose by $6,710 due to the Trump-led economic boom. If Kamala Harris, Kami Lama around these parts, had the nerve to ask Hispanics if they're better off now than they were 4 years ago, that would be the answer. Mayra Flores quite nicely summed up the Democrats' fears in her response to the vice president's trip. Hispanic Americans are flocking toward the Republican Party because we have the solution to solve the issues at the border, the gas pump, the grocery store, and everywhere in between. All right, so as much as I love the Democrat bashing, because I do quite a bit of it myself, I take issue with this last paragraph. Mayra Flores quite nicely summed up the Democrats' fears in her response to the vice president's trip. Hispanic Americans are flocking toward the Republican Party, which is true, because we have the solution to solve the issues at the border. We may, but we don't implement them. The gas pump, not really so sure about that one either. The grocery store, and everywhere in between. Look, I hate to be this guy, but I have to be this guy. We're not going to fix what's broken until we actually try to fix what's broken. This isn't a Band-Aid issue. We are literally looking at an arterial wound, and both sides are trying to throw a bandage on it and say it's going to be fine. Just walk it off. Throw some dirt on it, kid, you'll be fine. That's what we're looking at with the border. That's why I'm so happy, on one level, to start seeing everyday Americans saying the same thing that I've been saying for 14 years. This isn't about immigration. This isn't about migration. This is an invasion. If you don't believe me, just look. It's all over the news all day, every day. And what you're seeing are a bunch of military-age men flooding across our border. But you want to tell me it's not an invasion? This is why I laugh when I hear both sides say, well, we know how to fix it. Neither side wants it fixed. One wants it slightly more controlled than the other, but neither side actually wants it fixed because they've bought into the same hype that all the Ivy League schools have been telling everybody in all their surveys and their studies and everything else. Well, the people that are coming across the border illegally are doing all the jobs that regular everyday Americans don't want to do anymore, Rick. So what are we going to do if we stop letting them come in? We're not going to have people to do this. We're not going to, that sounds just as stupid as the Atlanta City Board deciding that they're going to not allow a ski mask ban because it will lead to higher incidences of racial profiling. Because you're saying the quiet part out loud, you don't even realize you're saying the quiet part out loud, and nobody seems to notice that you just basically admitted that in your own mind, more crimes are committed by black people than they are white people, or there would be no reason for there to be an increase in racial profiling. But I'll say the quiet part out loud for you, and I'll even give you the unabridged version. You people are assholes. You keep reading into everyone else's lives what you feel in your heart and hear in your head every time you think a thought that you're too afraid to say out loud. And you guys are the problem. You guys are the ones that are projecting all of your fears onto everyone else. You guys are the ones that are projecting all the white guilt onto everyone else. And that's why there's so many blacks and Hispanic liberals now speaking up going, look, dude, you white folks are letting the country go to hell. Why don't you fucking do something about it? That's basically what this whole article was about. Nobody wants to talk about it, though. Nobody wants to talk about how we're actually going to fix it. All she says is, we know how to fix it. Really? Then how about you start putting out a plan? Why don't you tell us in detail exactly what you would do to fix the immigration problem so we know what we're voting for? But you won't do that. Because it's a fundraising tool. And it's because it's something for you to get your side ginned up about, pissed off about, and get them to come to the polls over. And it's working. It likely will work. Unless we do something to not fix the steal. Then it's not going to work anyway. But at the same time, nothing's going to get fixed. Everyone seems to forget that when Trump took office in 2016, I'm sorry, I guess it was 2017? Yeah, elected 2016, sworn in 2017. He had the majority. Did we do anything to permanently fix the border situation then? Did we? Anybody? Bueller? Did we? Because we didn't. We did a lot of executive orders. You know why we did a lot of executive orders? Because everyone in the Republican Party loves to fundraise over the border issues. Because it's a money-making thing for them. But they don't want to fix them. Because if they fix them, the money spigot goes away. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the same thing with the healthcare industry. Do you realize we don't treat people to the point of getting them well anymore? We treat their symptoms until they feel better. And then we wait for the symptoms to come back. And then we treat them some more. Instead of actually figuring out what the actual issue is. Look at all the cancer running rampant in this country. You think they don't know why that is? Because I guarantee you they do. Look at the difference between autism rates between today and 1960. You think they don't know what's causing those things? I guarantee you they do. They make more off of the issues, though. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a capitalist, but I'm not an asshole capitalist. The problem is, in way too many positions of authority, positions of power, positions of leadership, we have asshole capitalists. Some of which are LARPing communists. Looking at you, Dr. Gay. Because you are the epitome of what everyone calls an evil capitalist. You stole from somebody else to get where you are. And then still think you should get to stay there. We have a lot of problems in this country. Every single one of them ties back to the same problem. We have a heart problem in this country. Look at the murder rate. It's because we don't care about each other anymore. Look at the gun violence rate. It's because we don't care about each other anymore. Look at the amount of, people just stealing from everyday average business owners just because they can, because nobody's going to stop them anymore. It's because we don't care about anyone anymore. The schools have been able to do what they've been able to do to our children because we just don't give enough of a damn anymore. The legislatures have been able to do the things that they've been able to do because we just don't care anymore. I'm just as guilty. Ladies and gentlemen, in August, I took a risk and took a chance to do my dream jobs. Things that I've always said that I've wanted to do. And in October, in September, in October, I was going like gangbusters. November, I haven't been right since November 1st. And it's because now that I'm looking at all of this with no other distractions, I'm realizing that everything is a million times worse than I thought it was. And it all ties back to the same problems. Stacy and I talked about some of this last hour, even though we didn't realize we were. When we were talking about the abrupt changes in Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson doesn't give a shit about his message. Tucker Carlson gives a shit about his paycheck. That's why Tucker Carlson just went on somebody else's podcast and basically just said, hey, I'm all in for Trump, so I'm not Tucker Carlson anymore, I'm Sucker Carlson. Was he trying to make fun of it? Maybe. But in every joke, there is a kernel of truth. That's what makes it funny. We have too many people that are doing nothing other than chasing their bottom line. It's all about them getting what they feel they have coming to them and be damned everyone else. I refuse to be one of those people. I don't care if I have to spend the rest of my life doing this and asking for donations and, basically doing, little blurbs of, well, if you guys could donate this, we could do this. And because I would much rather do that and stay true to what I'm trying to do than ever get to the point where I'm having to chase dollars and having to say the right things to be able to keep those dollars. That's why I respected what Elon Musk said so much. What was it, a week ago, 10 days ago, when basically he started speaking out about Bob Iger and Disney and all the people that aren't willing to advertise on X anymore, but they'll still advertise on Meta and everywhere else. He just looked at the camera and said, "Look, if you think you're going to be able to blackmail me with money, if you think you're going to be able to blackmail me with pulling advertisers, then just go fuck yourself." That's where I am. I don't even have fuck you money, and that's where I am. Because I would much rather spend the rest of my life stringing things together and hustling to make ends meet and being able to put out the things that I know need to be said or written down or published or whatever, no matter the cost, and be able to do that instead of, oh, well, I can't say that because people are going to be mad. I can't say that because I'm going to irritate somebody. I can't say that because we're all part of the same group. That's not me. I'm not a go along to get along guy. I never have been. It's probably why I'm still doing this from my own home office. I know lots of people that started well after I did that have made it a lot further. But it's because they're willing to do whatever they got to do to chase the dollar. I'm not. I'm just not. And it's because of things like this. When you have a former Republican member of the legislature saying, well, they're flocking to us because we have the answers. Maybe you have the answers, but are you implementing them? Because you're not. I wish to God you were. I wish to God most people that, know all the things that they know. We're using them for the betterment of mankind, but they're not. They're using them to make a buck. And please don't misunderstand me. I am not opposed to making money. I am opposed to having a healthcare industry that isn't about healthcare. It's about welfare. We'll give you just enough so you feel well again, and then hopefully you come back in a few months and need it all over again. I mean, even juxtaposition alone. I've gone down so many different rabbit holes that have led to different medical stuff, and I'm just like, I really hope this isn't true. The problem is, a lot of times it is true. We know what's causing most of the people, especially in this country, to be as sick as they are. It's all tied to our diet. We're not eating the right foods. We're not putting the right things into our bodies. Why do you think they make all the stuff that's bad for you as cheap as possible? Make all the stuff that used to be good for you as expensive as possible? Now they've managed to take a lot of that away because they've made the fruits and vegetables that you buy in the store now. If you've noticed, and you may want to try this on your own because I did do this a couple weeks ago. I'll probably do it again soon and take a video. If you wonder what they've done to your vegetables, because back in the day you used to be able to buy vegetables from pretty much anywhere. Take the seeds and go throw them out in your yard or something, and eventually you'd have little babies or little plants that they eventually would give fruit of whatever it was that you ate and discarded the seeds. Have you noticed that a lot of the vegetables in the supermarkets anymore don't have seeds? Have you noticed? Something else that's really weird? Remember how potatoes, you let them sit out for, usually kind of, put them in a dark place for, week or so. Start seeing little sprouts Don't see those anymore. One of my grandkids at a science project tried to, grow a potato. Did what, I did 3 or 4 times when I was in grade school. Put a potato in water, let it sit for a week or so. Normally you start seeing little sprouts and little vines start coming out. 7 days in, not even an eye. 2 weeks in, still not even an eye. 3 weeks in, sitting in water, 2 eyes have produced. A month, sitting in water, 1 little puny vine. These people are not looking out for you. They are telling you what you want to hear to get you to pull a lever. And then they do whatever they want. We've seen it over and over and over again since I've started doing this. The one person that for 5 seconds I actually believed might be the one to make changes wound up being chewed up and spit out by the same machine, and now he's coming back running from the left and running everybody over that ever tried to stand up for him, unless they are swearing fealty towards him still, no matter what he says. And I will not be one of those people. I will not be one of those people. I promise you that no matter what, I will do everything I can to give you information so that you can make your own decisions. Because that's what I feel like I'm supposed to do. Am I going to get it right all the time? No. But when I screw up, I'm definitely going to tell you. Nobody's perfect. I got it wrong with Trump the first time. Apparently I got it wrong with Trump the second time, because I really thought he was going to win. Anyway. Unfortunately, I kind of agree with you there, Rex. I'm saying, nuke them from orbit and start over. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? My bad. Anyway. When the black helicopters come and find me, you'll know why. Anyway. Oh. Alright. So here's an interesting concept. It's almost like people are remembering how things used to be. So apparently there's a certain town in Tennessee that's actually locking up criminals again. So something novel happens. Wait, what the heck? No. Never mind. That's weird. It's never done that before. It's not letting me read the article. It said no. Anyway, I guess there's not a freeloader option for the Blaze anymore. Anyway. That's funny. Live on air. I'm being locked out of a resource that I use because I refuse to pay for it. That's funny. Anyway, so yeah, apparently there's a little town in Tennessee that has figured out that if you lock criminals up, your crime rate drops. Kind of funny how that works. So much fun. That's really weird. Maybe that was one of their VIP section things or something, because I've not had that before. Alright, well, since I wasn't expecting that to happen, it's kind of thrown me off, so let's take a break. We will come back in just a couple minutes, so stay tuned. You are listening to the Conservative Curmudgeon Show. I am not G, I'm Rick. We'll be back on the other side of the break, though, so stay tuned.
What you doing? I've been jumping through some hoops. Wanna get my body loose. Wanna tell you what to do. I've been running out of bounds like an animal struggling. Looking for a diamond. I'm trying, I'm fighting, riding in the rhythm now. I just wanna stay up all night. Wanna stay up all night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just wanna stay up all night with you. Stay up all night. Just wanna stay up all night with you.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I am not your lovable conservative curmudgeon. I am Rick Robinson. Typically do the America Off the Rails show. Was doing the Rick Robinson morning show. Starting probably after Christmas, it will become the Rick Robinson afternoon show. Because my insomnia is back, and it's making it really hard for me to do crap semi-early in the morning. On top of having an extra kid to watch. Fun times. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. And, well, we kind of have to get to the news of the day because, you know, it's kind of why we do this. So, without further ado, listen to this shit.
Up to you again. Let's listen in to Hunter Biden.
Any legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me. I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies. And I'm here today to acknowledge that I've made mistakes in my life and wasted opportunities and privileges I was afforded. For that, I'm responsible. For that, I'm accountable. And for that, I'm making amends. But I'm also here today to correct how the MAGA right has portrayed me for their political purposes. I am first and foremost a son, a father, a brother, and a husband from a loving and supportive family. I'm proud to have earned degrees from Georgetown University and Yale Law School. I'm proud of my legal career and business career. I'm proud of my time serving on a dozen different boards of directors. And I'm proud of my efforts to forge global business relationships.
All using my dad to help get it done. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Including members of the House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character, invaded my privacy.
They've impugned your character?
My children,
Bro.
my family, and my friends. They've ridiculed my struggle with addiction. They've belittled my recovery. And they have tried to dehumanize me, all to embarrass and damage my father.
Your father dehumanized half of the country.
Public life to service.
Half of the
6 years,
country.
I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here. Let me state as clearly as
you're not where you're supposed to be.
my father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing
I thought
lawyer,
he wasn't involved at all.
not as a board member of Burisma,
I'm confused.
not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist.
There's no such thing as a Chinese private businessman. They're fucking
During my battle with
communists, bro.
addiction, my parents were there for me. They literally saved my life. They helped me in ways that I will never be able to repay. And of course, they would never expect me to. And in the depths of my addiction, I was extremely irresponsible with my finances. But to suggest that is grounds for an impeachment inquiry is beyond the absurd. It's shameless.
That's not why they're saying there's
no
grounds
evidence
for
to
an
support
inquiry.
the allegations that my father was financially involved
Explain
in my
to me
business.
why a company that doesn't even
Because
have a
it did
website
not
needs 12 other
happen.
shell companies. Not one.
James Comer,
12.
Jim Jordan,
12.
Jason Smith, and their colleagues have distorted the facts by cherry-picking lines from a bank statement, manipulating texts I sent, editing the testimony of my friends and former business partners, and misstating personal information that was stolen from me. There
It
is no
wasn't stolen
fairness
from you, dude.
or
You
decency
left it
in
at
what
a computer
these
repair
Republicans
store
are
for
doing.
over a year. It's
They
not
have
stolen.
lied over and over about every aspect of my personal and professional life. So much so that their lies have become the false facts believed by too many people. No matter how many times it is debunked,
Can somebody tell me what a false fact
My
is?
father's support of Ukraine against Russia
Anybody?
is the result
Anybody?
of a non-existent bribe.
Bueller?
They displayed naked photos of me during an oversight hearing. And they have taken the light of my dad's love, for me, and presented it as darkness.
Ask your sister about the light of your dad's love, bro.
These same committee
Just
chairmen
saying.
have engaged in unprecedented political interference in what would have already been a 5-year investigation of me. Yet, here I am, Mr. Chairman, taking up your offer when you said we can bring these people in for depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose. Well, I've chosen. I am here to testify at a public hearing today to answer any of the committee's legitimate questions. Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics, expose their baseless inquiry, or hear what I have to say. What are they afraid of? I'm here. I'm ready.
You're full of shit. Because you're on the wrong side of the building, for one. For two, if you have nothing to hide, you would have went and did the deposition. I mean, that's what they'd be saying if he was a Republican. Why didn't he just go do the deposition if he's got nothing to hide? So, so while he's blowing smoke up everybody's ass about what's triggering the impeachment, let's hear what's actually triggering the impeachment. Hang on.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time. Well, there's still, they made.
So why is that such a big deal? I mean, because this is from forever ago. But why is it such a big deal? Because the part of this that nobody seems to want to talk about is the prosecutor that he basically demanded be fired, or he was violating Barack Obama's protocols, was the same prosecutor that was going to be investigating Burisma, who his son happened to be a board member of, who, when his son was questioned on, I believe it was Good Morning America, and they asked him, so why in the world are you on the board of an oil company? He's like, I don't know. That's not a very good answer, bro. When somebody involved in the media is kind of, scratching their head going, why in the world is this guy who has zero experience in this particular field suddenly on the board of a giant oil company? I guess I'm confused. Anyway. So yeah, I guess maybe Diane is trying to do something tonight. So I guess I'm going to wrap up so I can figure out what's going on over there. I am so confused. Anyway, let me mute them so I can... Joys of live radio, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back I'll be back later tonight with Orty, but I guess we're going to get out of here. I'm not going to go through G's whole shut down shit. Bye, everybody.